Family, we got us one. We have another gem. I don't know which one I want to do first. Same predicament Tory might have been in. All right. There's an upload. It says that Jason Lee reveals that it may be a bigger problem around Megan. We're gonna check this out, see what it is. I don't know. We'll check it out. But Glorilla, unfollowed by Meg. Interesting. The shift, the energy shift. But that lets you know how bad the bandwagon thing is in the hip hop culture. They had these facts in their face in the beginning, and they put that girl up on a pedestal. Anyway, let's check out this other video with Jason Lee's name in it. Let's go.
Well, let's get one thing straight. Black women are not a cause, and we're not a campaign, and we're certainly not a crisis management strategy for men who've lost control of their own narrative. So when I hear a man say that he's silent to protect two black women, I don't hear loyalty, and I certainly don't hear love. But what I do hear is deflection. Let's talk about Tory Lanez. Now, y'all, this man sat silent. He sat silent and said nothing while Megan Thee Stallion was dragged across every blog, every courtroom, every meme online. She had to fight through all of that, right? Through the humiliation, the trauma. She had to do all that alone. Meanwhile, this man who says that he was protecting her does what? Is keeping quiet, being strategic, or just protecting himself. Because here's the truth. Black women don't need martyrs. We don't need your silence. We need action, right? We need clarity, and we need somebody to stand up and say that she didn't deserve any of this, and to say it when it mattered, right? Not years later in a leaked text. You don't get to rewrite your role, sir, in a woman's trauma just because the story didn't go your way. So no, we're not handing out medals for silence.
We're not handing out medals for silence. This was a very interesting take because everything she said about Tory was what the other person is doing, allegedly. Now run that back and listen to what she said. This is very interesting. I mean, she's talking like this, defending a person that stirs stuff up. There's multiple reports of this woman not being able to handle her drinks. Let's just play the video.
Right? We're not asking questions. And today we're going to unpack what protection really looks like and why accountability is the only real form of love that the black woman needs. And in my humble opinion, I just don't think that that's protection. That's positioning. That's deflection. That's a calculated move to appear humble while everyone else is drowning. And if we're going to be honest, and we're going to be honest today, he wasn't protecting two black women. He was protecting himself, period. And we're not talking about Instagram caption protection. We're talking about real life in the prison cells, in police reports, and in courtroom testimonies.
She said he's protecting himself. Houseway. That man sat there and called them from inside the first night everything happened. Hey, did y'all make it out okay? This, that, and the third. He's protecting himself to where something happened and he got touched 14 times, facing 10 years. He's protecting himself. All right. If he's protecting himself, why didn't he say that night, yo, she did this, I tried to stop her, and this happened. But it wasn't from the pink thing, it was from glass. This is a interesting point of view.
And this story has gained new life. This private text message exchange between Tory and the celebrity blogger Jason Lee. All at the same time, this new testimony is being brought up in the press right after he was stabbed. Or maybe it was before, I don't know. But in the text message, Tory claims, "I took the rap for Kelsey. Never wanted her to go to jail, and I never wanted Megan to get hurt or anything. So, in me stopping her from getting shot, I got the raw deal. I protected 2 black women." Very well crafted text message, right? For someone to say and to send it to Jason Lee. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he didn't do it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that to take that position to say that you're protecting or that you protected 2 black women when you slept with both of them. So where was the protection then?
Hopefully the protection was where it should have been then, when he was both of them. Now, that's the whole reason why he was protecting them from what could have happened, because it came out that he was both of them. And I can't say this enough, while entertaining the likes of the Jenner girl. That's where Megan flipped out, got kicked out. She continued in a car to the point where they had to pull over. I bet you she flexed on that little girl Kelsey so big, boy. Oh my God. The big old hands and feet, that big body, probably looking down at her, breath stinking, musty, sweaty. But here it is, we're supposed to believe that it was like Harlem Nights. Dance, B. You see this pink thing in my hand? Anyway, let's get back to this really entertaining POV from Ruthless TV. I might have to check out some more of her content.
Were you protecting their feelings, their emotions, their state of mind? They're best friends. They were best friends until you came along. I mean, to me, your actions just don't line up with what you're saying. And what he's saying now, it may very well be true. Because at this point, I don't know what to believe. Because in the beginning, Megan said that she was protecting Tory.
All right, he was protecting all of that. Why didn't the outsider not protect that? Why didn't the outsider that entertained, however that situation worked out, why isn't that outsider looked at the same way? How? The outsider has to be just as accountable as him. But because it came out that night in a way that it shouldn't have, that's what sparked everything. But you can't put all of that on Tory. It had to be another consenting party involved. And there was. I wonder how that kicked off, though.
I mean, she gave this whole detailed description about what happened that night, even though they're all sloppy drunk. And I really don't want to get into those details. Right now, we're talking about this black woman trope that he's conveniently using to his benefit, when all along it doesn't appear that you were protecting black women. So why bring it up now? And that term, protect black women, it used to mean something, right? It meant advocacy. It meant taking action, confronting systems that routinely ignored us. But lately, nowadays, it's become a marketing tool, a catchphrase, right? A get out of jail free for people who never stood up in the first place.
All right. She's really forcing the issue on this protection thing. And then has the nerves to say that Meg got dragged. Ruthless TV. Interesting point of view. Now, dude could have not protected them and said, man, F both of y'all. We gonna keep, or I'm about to get her. Do y'all see my DMs? Y'all see my bank account? Y'all see my career? Or he could have said, yeah, officer, I seen it all. I tried to stop it. It was her. Then he'd be snitching on Meg, on top of ruining their friendship and all of that stuff. This is a very interesting point of view. Do I agree with it? Obviously not, but I'm going to keep watching with an open mind. I don't know what this woman's been through or anything like that for her to have this type take and not hold any accountability Meg's way, but she might be a fan. But this situation, you got to be a realist. Period.
So when Tory says that he protected Megan by staying silent, what he's really saying is, I watched a woman get dragged, discredited, and humiliated, and said nothing. Because silence benefits the powerful, right? And in that moment, silence benefited him. And this is what we're finding out now. And Megan told us that she lied to the police because she didn't want anyone to get shot. Now, let's stop and feel that for just a moment. A woman who's bleeding from her foot, but afraid to tell the truth, not for herself, but for the safety of a man who allegedly shot her. Now, that's trauma. That's conditioning. That's the result of a culture that constantly tell Black women, protect everyone but yourself.
She said, let's stop and feel that. Megan told us that she lied to the police. Now let's break that down. Megan told us she lied. I guess she's not going to focus on that part. She's going to skip right over that. Let's see if she mentions the glass. It's amazing how some people's logic is applied to certain situations and what people make rational in their minds. Like, I'm trying to be mindful and polite, but still real. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just get to the video.
I ask, did they ask to be protected? I mean, did they, or did they just ask for the truth? And here's the difference. A martyr absorbs the pain for others, right? An accountable man stands up and says, I did it. Here's how we can move forward. But Tory didn't do that. He basically sat back and watched Megan face this global smear campaign. And he let Kelsey carry the weight of suspicion. And only now, after being stabbed in prison, does he text a blogger to say that he was trying to protect them. That's not chivalry, that's self-preservation. And Black women don't need you to burn in our name. We need you to stop lighting the matches. Sir, everyone in this story lied, like everyone. Megan lied to the cops. Kelsey stayed silent. Tory let the silence do the work. So where does that leave us? It leaves us in a place where truth is coming in pieces, right? Leaked text messages, courtroom whispers, media spins. And in all of this mess, we're asked to pick a side, assign guilt, and manufacture heroes. But maybe the real question isn't who do we believe? Maybe it's why do they all feel the need to lie in the first place? Because when the truth is at risk, everyone chooses survival, but don't call it protection.
I'm not surprised that she didn't speak on Kelsey's phone call with Tory while Meg was in the hospital. I'm not surprised she didn't speak on it, because then that would just eliminate everything she said. Like, I feel like that was a really far reach, and a lot of it could have been applied in reverse, how it really is right now. But she did say too much to conveniently leave out the part where Kelsey was on the phone with Tory, even to the point where he said, I need you to figure out a way to get me bailed out of here. And Kelsey said, okay. You got to make it make sense. Glorilla, unfollowed by Meg. Meg's talking about bots and she's not worried about people on the internet and this and that. She sure is doing her homework. She sure is looking. She need to use this time to drop some music maybe. She's used it as a rollout in the past many times, to where when something came out with her stirring the pot, oh, I'm gonna get a restraining order for somebody that's locked up for 10 years. Come on, man.
So it seems like Megan Thee Stallion unfollowed Glorilla after Glorilla posted a post on Instagram and it had a Tory Lanez song attached to it. So social media users noticed that Megan Thee Stallion unfollowed Glorilla with the quickness after Glorilla reposted this on her Instagram with the Tory Lanez song, and this post says, "Bae, I'm not crazy, you just haven't been loved like this." And a lot of people feel like this is the reason why Megan unfollowed Glorilla. So shortly after that, people noticed that Glorilla posted this on her Instagram as well, and it says, "I'm forever grateful for the heart I have, the way I love, the way I treat people, my pure intent. It's all a blessing." Of course, people gave their thoughts and opinions on this, and some people feel like Megan Thee Stallion is a controlling friend. One person said being friends with Meg has to be exhausting. It automatically be on there when you share a post. Megan really doing too much. It's just a song. She acting like she posted Free Tory. Someone else said, "Ish, I ain't gonna lie. I've shared Ish before and didn't realize the song from the original post was shared too. Weird. I bet Glow meant no harm. Shaking my head. Meg should have just called her like, girl, what the F, and solved it." And the last person said, not she a controlling friend. Glow, post what you want. So like I said, some people feel like Megan Thee Stallion is a controlling friend. And I agree with one of the comments that said Megan Thee Stallion should have just called Glorilla instead of going on social media and unfollowing her. But who knows? Maybe Megan Thee Stallion did call Glorilla, but it doesn't seem like she did, because if she would have, I don't think she would have unfollowed her. I feel like it was just an honest mistake, and Megan Thee Stallion probably did just take it too far. Instead of calling her friend and like, hey girl, you know, that post you posted, it had a Tory Lanez song on there. You know our situation. Can you please delete it? Maybe it would have been better that way. But I would like to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on here, because a lot of people felt like Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla had a genuine friendship.
Man, if they don't stop, wasn't nothing a mistake on either part of that. Not on Glorilla's part. She posted what she posted. She meant what she meant. And it wasn't a mistake on Meg's part. We got to stop giving too much leeway, because it's making people damn near delusional. Oh my God. Like, for what? Now, Megan, those posts are interesting. She's a control freak. Come on, man. Little old Glorilla. Then you got Megan. Come on, man. I can just see it. Then you add the drinks and ego and, well, false sense of ego. It's a person inside of Meg that's very shallow, insecure, very different. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Anyway, let me know where you're tapping in from, all that good stuff, and I'm out. Peace.